Namaskaram, Bhagavad Gita, 2nd chapter, Sloka 16. Lord Krishna teaching Arjuna about Atma, the qualities of Atma, what is real, what is unreal. So in 16th Sloka, Lord Krishna says, Atma is real. Atma is Nityam and body is Anityam because only body dies. Atma does not die. And object loses or weakens. That is Tattva Drishti. The Jnanis, that is, the wise people know about this, which is real and which is unreal. They know that body is perishable and Atma is imperishable. So that eternal essence will remain as a common element behind every object or situation. So Lord Krishna explains about Atma. So he is asking Arjuna, go to the war field, fight. You are not killing anyone because Atma cannot be killed and Atma pervades all bodies. So you are destroying only the body which is perishable. You are not doing anything to Atma. And Atma is eternal. So he stresses on this because that knowledge has to be provided to him. Only then he can prepare himself to fight. So in the next sloka also he repeats, Atma is imperishable, cannot be destroyed, cannot be created by somebody. It is always there. So it is like how we make gold ornaments from gold. Gold is always there. Only thing we melt and we change it into different forms. So Atma is always there. Atma takes different forms. Atma takes different bodies. So Atma pervades. So this is one entity and it takes different bodies. So he keeps saying about Atma. And Bhagavan is a form, is a part of every Atma. So Jivatma, Paramatma. Paramatma creates all that. So Paramatma lives in all Atma. So every Atma has got the divine qualities of Paramatma. So now no one can do any damage to that. So he is explaining that to Arjuna. So he is saying you are wrong. What you are thinking is not logically correct. Atma is imperishable and it is real. Human bodies and materials are perishable, they are unreal. So you can never destroy imperishable. So Atma never gets destroyed. So come on, get ready for the war. And he continues his teaching in the next sloka about Atma. He is asking Arjuna to think logically. So he says, Atma does not kill anyone and nor Atma is killed by someone. Atma is beyond all that. No one can destroy Atma. No one can kill Atma. So you are going to destroy only the bodies, not the Atma. So don't feel that you are responsible for the death. There is no death. And he also says, the warriors who are all dying, they are fighting for the cause of Dharma. If they die in the war, they get that glorious death and that will be rewarded. They get the moksha. So you are not doing any harm to them. So don't feel bad. Don't worry about that. You get ready, prepare yourself to fight. So he is giving the knowledge and preparing himself to the battlefield. So he says, Atma does not undergo any changes, only the body that undergoes different changes, right from birth to growth, then it goes on, then old age, then the body dies and it is dumped, that is, it is buried. So, all these stages, or it is burnt. So, all these changes are undergone only by the body. Atma does not undergo any kind of change. And he says, you should use your viveka to understand this. That is very, very important. Use your intellect and think logically and understand that you are not killing. And Atma is birthless, timeless, eternal, and it is immortal, does not spring from anything. So, you understand what is soul, what is real, what is permanent. You will not get confused. So, have this complete knowledge. So, he is giving the knowledge about soul, Atma. So, he will have clarity in his mind. So, all these slokas explain the qualities of Atma. And he also says, some people think that soul can slay, and some think that soul can be slain. Both are wrong. It cannot happen. Then what is body? Body is a vehicle of soul. So if anyone damages the body, the person can be punished? Yes, because it's damaging the vehicle of the soul. So he has to be punished. But nothing happens to the soul. The body which is given by God is damaged. So that no one has a right to that. So in that case they are punished. So there is a self-defense, the situations where you have to save yourselves, and for good cause, there you can attack the body, you can destroy the body. So this is also given in the Shastra. So Krishna is saying all these are given in the Shastra. Now we have come to the war to fight against the bad people who promoted adharma. So you are fighting against those people only, and they are the people to be punished for their wrong actions. So Arjuna is getting knowledge about Atma from Lord Krishna. And Nammalvar, one of the Alvars, he says in the Pasuram, Krishna has never applied any conspiracy to kill the people in the war. He only rewarded them by giving them moksha. So no one was killed. They were all promoted to moksha. He talks about, in this Pasuram, Nammalvar sings about the divine quality of Lord Krishna, Lord Vishnu. Atma is imperishable and it keeps. It is there always. So it is timeless. So in 20th sloka, Lord Krishna is saying that Atma pervades the body and Atma is in the body. We can't say that Atma is in particular place of the body. It is everywhere in the body. So when we touch the fire, so what do? When we accidentally we touch the fire, we withdraw our fingers or hand. So you get some sensation. So that is given by Atma. So Atma gives out that knowledge. So Atma is making the body function. If there is no body, Atma leaves. If the body does not function, if it loses its ability to function, or it becomes weak, or it gets destroyed, then the Atma leaves that body. So this is the natural happening. So Lord Krishna talks about it. So not to give importance to body, because it undergoes lots of changes. It is not real. So when you have that Atma in the body only, you function. So he is giving a very clear picture about what is Atma and what is body, and is preparing him to fight, because he was very determined, Arjuna was very determined not to fight. So Atma cannot be created and Atma cannot be destroyed. So that is a fundamental fact. Nammalvar, he says about Atma in one of his Pasuram, Lord, you are, that is God, Narayana, he is everywhere. He is inside, he is outside, he is in the world, because the world is created by him. So he is in every atom, he is in every living creature, he is every creature created by him. So he is everywhere, he pervades everywhere. So he says, you are in my Atma, I know. So you are the one who is guiding us. So you are within us. So he says, he will take care of us, and he is there. So I know that you are in me. So he is singing about the Paramatma dwells in every Jivatma. So Lord Krishna is saying or highlighting the qualities of Atma. So God created the world and he is pervading in all, and it is temporary. The world is temporary, but it is Sat. It exists. Only Brahmajnani says it doesn't exist, but it exists. Why we say it exists? Because they also depend on earth for getting food and water. So it exists. So this is but it is temporary. And God is everywhere in the earth. So we should understand this, and we should apply this to our everyday life, because whatever is said in Bhagavad Gita is not only applicable to his Arjuna, it is for us also. So let us not focus on the materials which are unreal, which are not permanent. So what is permanent? Let us understand what is permanent, what is eternal. Let us understand realize our Atma. So how can we realize our Atma? By keeping our mind calm, by keeping ourselves away from all worldly pleasures, and have control over our sense organs. Only then you can realize the Atma. When you realize Atma, you know there is Paramatma living. So this is very important for us to lead our life very peacefully. So let's follow that and realize our Atma, so that we will reduce our desires, which is very, very important.